Hello and welcome to the first Tooshka training tutorial. It's quite fitting that this is the first tutorial because the headset that we bought to record these tutorials turns out to be quite noisy. So this tutorial is going to be how to kind of treat the voiceovers that you record to remove some of the noise, maybe tame the peaks a little bit, and maybe just give it a little bit of a sweetening with an EQ. So first thing we want to do is I'll play the sound file that we've recorded so that you can hear how noisy it actually is. This is an audio test file. So did you hear the noise at the start there? Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to create a selection of our noise. See, I've got just the noise there. Now we're going to use an effect here called Reefer, which is part of the RIA Effects plugins pack, available in VST format. They're free of charge. They're as high quality as anything you could possibly ever buy, and this is something that will be very useful to you, whether you're making voiceovers for films, whether you just need to remove noise from any kind of audio. When you first load the effect up, it will be in the EQ setting. You want to change that to subtract. Personally, the FFT size is on 4096. Personally, for this particular file, for these particular voiceovers, I actually liked 8192. So we're going to automatically build a noise profile here. Press play. Actually, I've got the effect disabled. This is a feature of Reaper. You can actually disable and enable effects. We'll talk a little bit more about Reaper at the end of the tutorial. So I'm going to enable the effect here, and then I'm going to press play. So now we've created a nice noise profile. We're going to turn this off. So now when I actually play this entire file, you will notice that there is very little noise left. This is an audio test file to show how noisy the microphone is on this headset. Did you notice how much of the noise has actually been removed there? If you look here at the meter, you'll notice that there is actually still something here, but as soon as we activate the EQ, which we'll do now, I've created my own setting here. It was based on the stock intimate female vocal setting. Basically, I've pulled out some of the highs and boosted the mids a tiny bit. So if you listen now and watch the meters as well. This is an audio test file to show how noisy the microphone is on this headset. It's a much cleaner sound. We've got a little bit of peak in there on the meter, as you can see, which we're going to take care of in a moment. What we need to remember here is that a lot of people will talk about gain structures and so on and so forth. But if you're working completely in the box, that means you're only using software effects and you're not going out to hardware compressors or hardware EQs or so on. You can actually worry about peaking and so on just before rendering, simply because a 1 and a 1 is 2. We've got digital add-in, and that's actually the reality of the way it is. Some people will try and tell you other things, and mine is 18 decibels, and so on and so forth, but it really doesn't matter if you're in the box. It's all myth. So what I've done here is I've just loaded up RIA comp. I've created a preset, but it was actually based on another preset that's in there called Modern Vocal. So we're going to activate that now. And have a little listen. This is an audio test file to show how noisy the microphone is on this headset. But that's not a bad vocal now. That isn't a bad vocal at all. And what we can do to actually show how much better that vocal is I'll play it through once, and then I'm going to disable the effects change so you can hear it without the effects. This is an audio test file to show how noisy the microphone is on this headset. This is an audio test file to show how noisy the microphone is on this headset. So as you can see, we've removed the noise, we've boosted the mids and scooped the mids ever so slightly just to give it a cleaner sound, and we've compressed it to flatten the file a bit, less dynamic in the sound, which is not a great thing if you're making music, to be perfectly honest. But it's good for voiceovers. You're compressing the voice into an easy listenable format, especially if people are watching on TVs. The sound system on TVs are not the greatest things. I know some people have got amazing surround sound systems. That's fine, but the reality is that this gets you through laptop speakers and everything. It should sound quite good anyway using these techniques. As I say, these effects are all available from the Cocos website, the people who make Reaper. They're called Rear Effects. They come as a VST pack, completely free of charge, and they're as good quality as any paid effects that are available. About Reaper itself, again, the reason I'm using this is because it's a $60 software for the personal license. It's pretty much unbeatable with editing audio for anything up to probably 10 times its cost. It's an amazing package for the price, and you could do a lot worse than getting this as part of your setup. I hope that's helped you a little bit to remove some noise and maybe tweak your vocals a little bit for whatever purposes you need. See you on the next tutorial.